We live in a world that is designed for certain bodies, certain senses, and certain ways of communicating. Most of the time, we don't notice this because we fit. This is not a film about disability. It is about what happens when the environment changes and you don't. In this space, sound is no longer the default mode of interaction. Communication follows visual and non-verbal norms. And for the first time, someone who usually belongs, does not. Core premise: this project places one norm-misaligned participant in a visually normed and non-auditory environment to demonstrate how exclusion arises from communication design and social norms rather than from disability itself. Why a non-auditory communication environment? This project is conceptually informed by research on hearing impairment and deaf accessibility, without representing or simulating lived disability. Non-auditory communication environments provide a powerful lens to examine how social norms are constructed around sound and speech. When sound is removed as the default mode of interaction, power relations within communication shift. Communication remains socially central, yet access becomes dependent on visual attention, shared cues, and normative fluency. Exclusion in such environments is often subtle rather than overt, revealing how ableism frequently operates within everyday, normal conversation, rather than through explicit discrimination. Group composition and setting: participants, 4 individuals communicating primarily through visual and non-verbal means. 1 individual with no prior familiarity with the communication system. All participants were young adults between 18 to 25 years. The majority were male, 80%, and working professionals, 60%. 4 participants were norm-aligned, while 1 represented a norm-misaligned position to introduce contrast in social perception. Environment normed for visual communication and gestures. Methodology: research design type of study, qualitative demonstration-based study, design, role reversal simulation with observational analysis, nature, exploratory, participants, total participants, n equals 5. Age range: 18 to 25 years. Gender: 4 males, 1 female. Educational status: 1 undergraduate, 1 postgraduate and 3 working professionals. Norm alignment: 4 norm aligned. 1 norm misaligned. Sampling technique: convenience sampling, independent and dependent variable. Independent variable: assigned social role, norm aligned versus misaligned. Dependent variable: behavioral response and emotional expression, data collection method. Video-based behavioral observation. Reflective responses. Thematic interpretation. How the environment was normed. Communication through pre-agreed visual gestures. No spoken explanations. Group interaction proceeded silently.
What you two talking about? And you two, hello? Hello? Hey! Okay, I go.
Visible observation of the norm misaligned participant. Initially attempted to speak. Received no response. Appeared confused and embarrassed. Gradually stopped initiating interaction. Left the space. Observed outcome. Social withdrawal. Theoretical link. In hearing normed environments, sign-based and visual communication are often excluded in similar ways. How the environment was normed. Instructions delivered visually, once. Strong reliance on shared visual attention.
What's this? What's this video about? Hello? Hey, did I miss something? What's this? Hello?
Visible observation of the norm misaligned participant. Missed instructions while looking away. Expressed frustration afterward. Observed outcome: anxiety and helplessness. Theoretical link: research on hearing impairment highlights the constant visual vigilance required in auditory dominant spaces. How the environment was normed. Humor shared visually, expressions, gestures. Group responded collectively.
Ewa. So funny.
Visible observation of the norm misaligned participant. Looked around for cues. Smiled without understanding. Became a passive observer. Observed outcome. Emotional exclusion. Theoretical link. Auditory humor and spontaneous conversation are common sites of exclusion for people with hearing impairment. Key insight: what this environment revealed. The participants aligned with visual norms showed comfort, autonomy, and participation, while the norm misaligned participants showed exclusion, anxiety, and withdrawal. This shows that disability emerged from environmental misfit and not from impairment. This reflection documents the participants' subjective experience of exclusion within a non-auditory communication environment. It does not represent disability or deaf experience.
Hello people. At first I kept trying to speak because that what felt normal. When no one responded, I thought I was doing something wrong. After a while I stopped trying altogether. Nobody told me to stop participating, but the environment made it clear that my normal way of talking had no value there. This experience made me realize that what we call ability depends entirely on the environment we are placed in.
This project critically examines ableism and disableism as socially constructed processes rather than individual deficits. By designing an environment where visual and non-verbal communication are the norm, it exposes how dominant social practices routinely privilege hearing bodies, rendering alternative modes of communication invisible or marginalized. The project challenges deeply embedded attitudes that equate spoken language with intelligence, competence, and social value, demonstrating that these beliefs are context-dependent rather than universal. In terms of access and services, it moves beyond a narrow focus on physical accessibility to foreground communication access as a central yet often overlooked dimension of inclusion. Finally, the project aligns with principles of community-based rehabilitation by emphasizing that meaningful inclusion begins not with fixing individuals, but with shifting environmental norms, institutional practices, and social expectations to accommodate diverse ways of communicating. When silence becomes the norm, hearing becomes the limitation. This project demonstrates that rehabilitation is not about fixing people, but about redesigning environments. The question that now arises is, does role reversal create new discrimination? The project does not argue for replacing one dominant norm with another. It uses temporary inversion to demonstrate how exclusion is produced by rigid communication systems. The solution is not reversal, but pluralism. This includes designing environments where multiple modes of communication can coexist. Pluralism, flexibility, and inclusion together can accommodate diverse users from the outset rather than privileging one norm. This is not a film about disability. It is a story about design, power, and belonging. When environments are built for sound, silence becomes exclusion. Similarly, when silence is the norm, hearing becomes the limitation.